Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim. This is Over the Years. Welcome back to another live stream Monday night. So, this is happening. I fell asleep. I had a massive headache. I fell asleep on my mom's couch, and she was supposed to wake me up, and she wakes me up at 5:57 and says, "Timothy, it's 3 minutes till 6 o'clock." And I'm like, "Thanks, Mom. You're supposed to wake me up like 30 minutes ago, but here we are." So, thank you for those of you that are here right now with us. I know we've been gone for a week and we haven't uploaded any videos or done any lives, but we are alive and we are back. Typically on this show, what we do is people submit to us items to be identified via the email that is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. Excuse me. And we help them either identify what the object is, give it a price, help them determine how they should list the item, any of the above or all the above. So that's usually what we do at these 6 o'clock lives. But unfortunately, we don't have any items submitted for identifying this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over. I have a couple pieces that I have to identify, and I'm going to show you guys the importance of understanding and being able to date backstamps on items, because that is something that's super important when it comes to pricing things to resell when vintage and antique items. Wasn't there a holdover from last time? There was, but I actually have somebody that's going to help me with that one that's the holdover. That's like the photo album one, because it's like it's very different than something I'm used to doing. And I think I'm trying to get somebody to come on live with me and help with that item. If they can't do it, then I'm just going to do that one next Monday. But yeah, there is one for the holdover too. I forgot what I was going to say to you guys. I'm still a little discombobulated thanks to that power nap I had to take. I had the absolute worst headache. It was like a migraine. And so I'm just kind of getting out of that dead sleep that I was just in. All right. So thank you guys for joining us. Michelle, I appreciate you stopping by. Maria, empty nesting, hope all is well. And S.A. Peacock is here. So there's only 6 people in here, and Kathy's here. So I guess we're just going to have a good time tonight for an hour. And I'm going to go over how I do backstamps on items. All right. So let me pull something up really quick. I had so much work to do this morning too. It was crazy. I had 20 items that needed to be packed and shipped out from this weekend, and I was packing all morning, and then I had to get things ready for the live sale, which I still have to finish doing when I'm done with this live, because I had to take that nap. My head was like pounding. All right, let's do this. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at tonight is going to be Bleak. So for those of you that don't know, Bleak is a to me it's China, but that's the name of the company is Bleak Pottery. But it is like porcelain ceramic, and you can see I have this is one of the first things that I remembered my mom and dad having when I was growing up. And so I've always had a bit of a deeper appreciation for it. But this stuff is definitely super old. Right now with me, I have 5 pieces. Bleak stamps are fun. And their stuff is really pretty. As you can see, look at this piece right here. Really gorgeous piece. And it's the thing that I like about it. I mean, obviously, it's very delicate. So it's really now you can see this is a bleak stamp right here. This one actually still has like a price tag on it, not price tag, but a sticker from the actual bleak store. And then there's this one right here. If I can get it to focus. There's that one. You got another one right here. And which one is this one? I think this one's just similar. Yeah, so a couple of these are actually very similar. But the thing is that you have to really. I've sold single pieces of Bleak for hundreds of dollars. Yeah, it's and obviously the Bleak market isn't what it used to be, and something that a lot of people. What's going on, Joe? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, brothers. That piece with the flowers is beautiful. Yeah, it's really pretty. And it's very difficult when you have these sort of like applied pieces to like actually still be in shape, and there's texture on it too, which really makes it interesting. um but yeah, people will be surprised because some Bleak will actually sell for more, and it might actually be newer. It's just sometimes certain pieces of Bleak are obviously worth more money than others. So let me share my screen really quick. All right. So as you can see, what I've done here is I went ahead and just searched Bleak marks. Now, some people will refer to it as a maker's mark. Some people will refer to it as a backstamp. They all have various wordings that people use. So, and it's going to be a light crowd tonight, obviously, because I didn't really like promote my lives like I normally do, but I thought people would just come back. Juliet, hello, Juliet. Thank you for joining us. My man, Scotty Booms, is a rarity or the quality that makes it valuable. Well, the name, obviously, which is Bleak, kind of goes into the quality. Like for somebody who's just getting into reselling, like I remember one of my golden rules is that I would never pick up anything that said made in China. So typically things that are made in England, or when it comes to China or pottery or porcelain or something like that, those are all, things that I would look for when I'm out picking stuff up. Japan, and so obviously the name kind of has something to do with it. But as far as the value goes, yes, rarity is one of the biggest things that creates value, because especially over time. And I think pieces that have, so like you see, for example, you have 2 pieces right here. This piece is probably going to be more valuable 9 out of 10 times because it has this. Pieces that have handles and tops and stuff like that, are those are they're harder to survive over time. So something that's harder to survive over time is going to have more value down the road, obviously. All right. So now with Bleak backstamps, you really have to pay attention to detail, because the difference in the backstamps can be very similar. Now, not all of these. I have a book that's literally all different backstamps and maker's marks that I use a lot. But Balik is actually kind of good because they're still active, and so you know they kind of they keep up with their markings. Okay, so what's interesting is obviously if you find something that's the Balik, like the first mark. Let me see if I can pull up another one of just the images so that you guys can see. I know there's a different one. Like something I can bring up. Okay. So you can see that there are like some like these two right here. Okay. So the fourth back stamp or the first green versus the fifth and the second green. You know, so you're going to have these sort of three back stamps right here that are all kind of very similar. So what you have to do is you have to be very careful of the way that they are marked. So like for instance, the big difference between these two is going to be your registration mark right here. So that'll help you with the date. And then on the third one, obviously they don't have the ribbon right here. It's dropped down here and they kind of added this, made this part more prominent. So that's definitely something that's helpful. So let me see which ones I have that are green. Okay. So there's this one. And you can see like they range in time, you know, when they were made. But if you could find some Balik, and now this is the really interesting part too. This says 1863, so 1863 to 1890, they used this. And then 91 to 1926. So it's super interesting how these are actually used. So let's see. I have. So when you're listing it, you want to with Balik specifically, you want to list it with the title of the back stamp and the year frame. That always will help it sell because people always want to know that. So this one is black. This one is purple. Okay. These are all the same, right? Okay. So let's see. Let me show you guys. All right. So this is the first green one I'm going to be looking at right here. Focus. Okay, so that's the first green one that I'm going to be looking at. It is, and based upon these right here, that appears to be the 6 mark. So these two pieces that I have here were made sometime between 1965 and 1980. What's going on, Dana? Grace, 2010H, thank you for joining us. So it says the size of this mark was reduced in 1965, probably to accommodate the placing stamps on smaller pieces. The R in the circle moved to above the harp on the main stamp. The mark is green. So yes, both of these pieces have the what's going on, Tracy and Kent? Thank you guys for joining us. Okay. So these both have that green mark right there. And I can't remember the name of this pattern off the top of my head. I think it begins with an N. So let's do this really quick. All right, so we have this here now. Leak shell. Okay, so these are some of the like. I literally just typed in. Let me share my screen really fast. I literally typed in, to me, because these look like shells. Okay, on the Bleak. So what I did was I just typed in Bleak shell on Worth Point. And so you have, I just wish, I know none of these are going to have the exact title name. Oh, these are like the different ones. These have the pink. This is like Michelle. Remember that teacup that you had that was that pink and why don't they have the name of that pattern though? It's like Balik and it be N Nautilus or something like that. Where is it? Okay, let's try this. All right. Neptune? No, is it? It is Neptune. Okay. All right. And another thing, obviously they make a lot of these with these different sort of colors and tints. So that's going to be something to look out for too. But I want to say, they say not Nabalik. Nautilus. Okay, so what's interesting is they say Nautilus and then it's also known as Neptune too. Super confusing, obviously. Okay. So here you go right here. And you have to remember that some of this stuff sells and the listings are a little bit funky. So this does look like a sugar and creamer maybe. Why do they say Neptune in here? Neptune is correct. Is that what it is? Not this. N-A-U. Yeah, so they refer to it as Neptune on here. Okay. And another thing especially with Balik, one of the things that you want to be able to identify the difference between is it's going to be kind of hard to tell on the screen, but sometimes it has like this sort of yellowish tint on the inside where like you see this one on the inside is just the same color as the outside, that sort of cream, and then this one has like almost like a yellow luster finish on the inside. So a lot of those can change the value of a piece for sure if it has a yellow inside or does not have a yellow inside. All right. So let's do this. Let's take a look at this pattern and see if we can find our exact pieces. Obviously, we probably won't. So this is the open sugar bowl is what this is. Okay, let's see if they have the I don't see the regular creamer at all. Okay, so let's see. Balik Neptune Sugar Bowl. The patterns, all patterns listed by number. Sweet. Yeah, see, this is different. This doesn't look the same when I go in here. Okay, let's check this out then. Michelle says www dot elite.org.uk. Wow, look at that piece. Sheesh. Okay, so now that I'm here, Michelle, where do I see the patterns? Or markings. I don't see the patterns. First period. This is definitely not first period. It's probably second period. Michelle, am I tripping? Where do they have the pattern names at here? Mark. I wonder. Let me see this. Google. Clicky. Where do I go? Clicky, where? Patterns and prices. Click the link. Where's the link? I don't see the link. Man. Oh, there it goes. All right. Bong. Ooh, listings Biden. Oh man, look at this. These websites drive me crazy. I got it, Michelle. All right. Wow. Oh geez, this will take forever. How do you navigate this thing? Phew. This is insane. So it would help if I knew the number, but I don't have the number. Some of these do have numbers on them. Oh, that's crazy. So now I'm just see they say right here on this one on replacements, this is definitely this piece, right? No, it's not. Is it? It's got to be. It's gotta be it. Name is in green alphabetically. Oh, okay. So let's see. If they... See, I think Neptune, I feel like, has these sort of like footed things here. Do they have an it's not new shell. They don't have a Nautilus either. So I wonder if it's just under shell. This is like pink, all pink though, in different colors. Crazy. What's going on, Bill? Hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a little while with us. Okay, so let's see. Neptune. Open sugar bowl. So a couple people have it, but see, these ones have the feet. And those say double shell. They say shell pattern. These are definitely the two pieces right here. As you can see. I wonder if I can type in shell pattern in here. It'll come up. Like shell. So shell. Oh, that says Neptune. Here it goes. That's it, right? But see, this one says 6 mark green. Is that the right mark? Where's Depop? Yes, it is a 6 mark. So that's what it is. Hey, Tea Cakes, how you doing? So yes. This is it. It's the double shell creamer Balik giftware 6 mark. I wonder, now this is my question to you guys. So most of you guys are, some of you are that are in the chat right now are also attend the live sales. Would you prefer to have the sugar and the creamer sold together or separately? I should probably sell it together, right, tonight? What do you guys think? I think I'll sell them together. I think that makes sense. To sell those together. Together it is, Kathy. Together it is. All right, now this is the interesting one though. So this one is pretty cool because it still has the sticker from the Balik store. You see? Carlingford Cache Pot. Okay. So what I'm going to do is Carlingford Cache Pot. And also, you have to remember too when you guys are looking at this this sort of stuff that Sometimes the prices sell differently in the UK than they do in America. This one is super interesting because look at the price differences on these things. I guess some of them they come in two different sizes, a large and a small. But you could see they go for like $35 in some places, 30, 35, $106 in this one. Jim and Eddie. 7.5 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches. That's another thing too that's important that you guys. Oh, my computer's gonna die. Dang it. Ugh. All right, we're plugged up. Okay. All right. Now that's another thing that you guys need to be aware of too when you're looking when you're looking at these is you want to be able. Okay, so most people say together. You want to be aware when you're researching pricings that you take into consideration the measurements. Because on this sticker it says small. So that one right there says 7.5 inches wide by 5 3/4 inches tall. Yeah, that one's a lot bigger than this one. This one is about 4.25 inches tall by about 5 inches wide. So this is not the same size as this one. I'm assuming that's the large one. Yeah, so this probably sells for like closer to, $25, $30. This one right here, $40. So it's super interesting. I wonder if this one is a large one. Let's see. So this one is a little bit different than that one. That's the 8x8. So super interesting right there. So this is a really nice piece, actually. This one. This will be in the live sale tonight. It's really pretty. Okay, so I got those two pieces. Now, this is probably the most recognizable pattern in Balik, is the Balik Shamrock pattern. And this one has the newer stamp. So obviously when you're researching these, especially in Balik, you want to base your research dependent upon the... God, this thing is having for forever today focusing. It's because I got this ship in the background. There you go. So this Balik stamp is... probably going to be the 9th mark. So sometime between 1997 and 2000 First two marks are parts of the mark burning off during firing. Obviously, added cost is new artwork for bleak packaging have been developed around the same time as the site used opportunity to match both together. So this is like the last stamp before to be considered vintage is this this blue stamp. They refer to it as the 9th mark. Okay, so let's see. Go here. Bleak 9th mark. And I have sold some of these pieces. So there's the Carlington pot right there. I sold this piece before. That's interesting. That's all they have. Come on. Okay. So we'll say Bleak 9th mark Shamrock. Bleak being sold on, does that help make it more popular or just hurt the value of older pieces? I don't know, Michelle. That's a good question, actually. I think that's pretty much left up to a certain interpretation. That's the way I would look at it. I mean, I am one to believe that something that is being brought to people's eyes would help generate some interest in the item, because if somebody sees something, like, okay, so say they see a piece of bleak, maybe they become intrigued by it and it encourages them to go look for older pieces. So it might actually in turn help the value of older pieces. I don't think some people may argue and say that it has a negative effect on it. Me personally, I don't find that to be true. I think the value of an old piece is always going to be the value of an old piece. There's certain things that companies are still making stuff. The fact that the items are made with backstamps and they're easily datable helps it to differentiate between the time periods in which the pieces were made. So I don't think it would really hurt the value. But I'm sure some people would argue otherwise, but that's an interesting point to bring up. Shout out to my man Steve back out of the garage. I love the way he says road, like how we do in our videos, ROAD, on the ROAD trip. Hope all is well, Steve. Thanks for checking in, buddy. And T-Cake says they tend to agree as well. So let's see if we can find this piece. What's going on, Glock? Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Yes, Washington football team is on top. Pretty awesome. All right, let's see what we got here, ladies and gentlemen. So I think that you would consider this to be a spill vase, I guess. It's interesting. Let's see. Vase. I think you should get out there your rooms to replace you one day and see their interpretation of it. That would be extremely funny, Tracy, actually. Okay, so this is what they refer to as a spill vase. And it looks like, with the box, $20. And that just recently sold. And you can see they come in all different shapes and sizes. That's the only one I really see. There goes another one. $11. So yeah, this is about anywhere from a $15 to $20 piece right here. They call these a spill vase. So this is a Bleak Shamrock spill vase daisy, and it's fairly small. It's a cute little piece. All right. Now, this one still has a sticker on it, although it does not have the full name. It looks like it says Oak Leaf, maybe, on the sticker. I'm assuming that's what that says. So let's see. Bleak Knife Mark Oak Vase. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. Not a just what's crazy is I bet you there's a million other of these listings, but nobody who really properly identifies it. You know, you probably just have the people in the UK who are identifying it properly. Let's see if it's on here. Look at this. Yeah, there you go. 8th mark. Is it 8th mark or is it 9th mark? Because I thought it was. It is the 9th mark, not the 8th mark. Yeah, it's the 9th mark. The 9th mark. All right, so that's all of the bleak pieces that needed to be identified. The other one I need to do is this one. Okay, so I know what this is because I have the exact same pattern. So I got really lucky once in an estate sale and I found 2 of these. But this is a different size than the one that I have, which is bothering me. But this is super old. This is 1800s. And this will be available in tonight's live sale. But let's pull up. This is a website that you guys all should be familiar with if you're interested in selling glass at all. What's going on, Rich? Hope all is well, brother. Is EAPGS.org, Early American Pattern Glass Society. This is super important for antique glass and probably one of the more reliable databases. There you go. The largest, most accurate, and most complete database of patterns, names, and photos of glass. They have over 4,000 patterns and about 35,000 photos. All right. Pattern lists. I think it's, as you can see, there's a lot of patterns here. Now, I know this to be inverted thumbprint. Okay, so when you're thinking about glass, okay, something to remember is, okay, so this can be considered thumbprint. It can be considered coin dot. Each company names it something different. But what makes it inverted is you don't feel the thumbprint on the outside. You feel the thumbprint on the inside. Okay, so that makes it inverted. So that's something that you definitely want to be hip to, is that. So am I going? I gotta share my screen again. All right, so we're going to inverted thumbprint with Daisy Band. Is that it? No, that's not it. Wait. That's not it either. Is it? No, I have this. Typically, yes, that's a good rule of thumb, no pun intended, Tim. But it's more based on the actual company. I think that's really the big difference. I have to go back and look and see because I sold something that was very similar to this. It's the exact same thing. This one is EAP inverted thumbprint and rope and Central Glassworks. Okay. Inverted thumbprint. Why? That's crazy. It's not in here. Rope. Here it is. Okay. Okay. So as you guys can see, this piece was made in 1885. What's going on, Chubby Uncle Rico? What's going on, Waterfly? Thank you guys for joining us. Yeah, so this piece is from 1885. And you can see right here. Okay. So this is the spooner. Is this the right size though? They say 4 and this is about 5 inches tall by 3.4D. What does that mean? See, I want to know if it's bigger than if it's a spooner or not. OMN stands for original maker name. You see this? So remember how I'm always telling you guys that in older glass, they didn't give these names of glass. They didn't give the name thumbprint and rope band. They give the name the patterns had numbers names back then. And over time, they were given these names of by people who collected them, and they kind of just stuck around. I want to take me to the second image. It's got to be a spooner because it's too wide to be a celery vase. Cream. Where's the sugar? It could be a sugar bowl, I guess. Now see, deep front to back. Could be that too. Look at all the different size pictures there. I'd be curious to see what most people. Okay. See, this has got to be a spooner, I think, because I think the spooner is got. Yeah, this has got to be the spooner. Definitely the spooner, for sure. But yeah, this piece is absolutely gorgeous. I sold the sugar bowl. I still have one left, but I sold the sugar bowl last year. And look how much that sold for. I don't want to get the person's name in there. So look, I gotta turn the brightness down on my screen. See, look. I had sold for $64.99 plus shipping on the Sugar Bowl. And this one does have a little bit of damage on the inside of the glass, which for those of you that don't know, like there can be breaks in glass that it's not a crack, right? Like I can't feel the crack. It's like in there and you can't feel it on the inside. It's literally inside the glass, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, for a piece to have to own that be the only problem with it, and this piece, what did I say? What did it date from? It dated, I think it's 1885. Yeah, 1885. So think about that. This piece is 515. So 100. This piece is 135 years old. Crazy, right? And it glows, you know? Look how pretty that is. So yeah, this is going to be in the live sale tonight. But I just had to remember. I was just concerned because the other one that I have, I knew was a different shape. So this is definitely a spooner, which they don't really make spooners anymore. And this one is going to be super tough too. This one I probably won't try to identify necessarily. But this is a uranium glass and it's etched. Look at that etching. And it's an ice bucket. That is nice. Yeah, it's pretty rad. Pretty. Yeah, plastic won't last that long. I mean, that's always been one of the things that's fascinated me and has drawn me to this world of vintage and antique because they just don't make things like they used to anymore. And like stuff like this, like it, you know how hard it is to find these? Like, just imagine that. Like, this is 100 and what did I say? I already forgot. 135 years old, 145, 135 years old. Like, where are you gonna find that? You know, like you just to think about the fact that like, you know, like I found that piece and I'm just like, I knew exactly what it was when I found it. I was like, this is crazy. I can't believe I just found this. That particular piece, probably more high end. I mean, depression glass, though, complete opposite. Depression glass was made, you know, for the common person, you know, for people. But just over time, and obviously it becomes a collectible. It's just, I think the most interesting and fascinating part about all this is that if you really think about it, this age of stuff, I don't think there'll be another age of this. You know, like, I don't know if that makes sense to people or not, but like IKEA stuff is not like in 50 years from now, IKEA stuff isn't going to be like, man, you know, like how you look at mid-century modern furniture or how like at some point in time Victorian furniture was looked at, you know, like or Edwardian furniture, you know, like it's just like the age of antique and vintage, like everything, you know, you have, it's just not going to be the same ever again. You know, like, yeah, depression glass was free to movie in boxes of soap, etc. But there's not going to be another like turn of the century, like, you know, it's like Tupperware is never going to be like this, you know, like I'm sure Tupperware will have, you know, people collect Tupperware and will buy Tupperware, but Tupperware will never be considered an antique. You know, even if 100 years down the road, when Tupperware is technically an antique, it won't have the same appeal and value as this stuff. I mean, like the quality that this stuff is, like, this is You know, people, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen somebody blow glass before. It's a really fascinating thing, and I highly recommend watching somebody do art glass because it's crazy. Tim says Tupperware makes food taste funky for me. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Look at Connie. I see you, Connie, coming out with it. Let's see. I have 2 minutes left. Let's similar to 1920 Fostoria ice bucket. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Is it ribbed? I don't think it's ribbed. Man, I love these. Look at this. Now that is a gorgeous piece right here. Look at that. Oh, that would be awesome if you found that ice bucket. But yeah, definitely could be Fostoria based upon the handles of these things, the balls of the handle for sure. So thank you for that, Connie. I appreciate that. Oh, I was just looking at it and not sharing my screen. So sorry. I was looking at this beautiful Fostoria palm leaf brocade green ice bucket. Look how awesome that ice bucket is. Super rad. All right, folks. So we are going to wrap up this episode. Yes, it is beautiful art. Oh, you've done it, huh? Get out of town, Waterfly. Is that why you're looking for the Murano glass candies? Or you? I didn't realize that you've blown glass before. Did you do it like on a tour, or did you like have a career in blowing glass? I don't know how glass blowers stand the heat. It's oppressive. Yeah, it's crazy. Found a glass blower with a YouTube channel. I sold his vase for 3 times what he sells it for new. Some people don't know their worth. That is interesting. Yeah, it's super fascinating stuff on a tour. Gotcha. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get to work. I will see you guys in 1 hour for our live vintage sale. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget, if you guys ever have any items that you need help identifying or researching, please submit them to the email that is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And I'll help you out live on air on the Over the Years YouTube channel. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this episode. I appreciate it as always. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and notification bell. I will see you guys soon. Take care.